Hello, hello. We are going to be going into group 2 of the Idaho reading. This is not a standalone reading. It is part of an energy investigative series. I will link below what that means, a video explaining it, as well as you can access all of these in the Dropbox link in the description. Okay, so we're going into group 2, which is going to start south. Maddie or Kaylee said something to the surviving roommates to the effect of, "I'm not going to allow this person to continue to have access to me." One of the two were cutting someone off. So Maddie or Kaylee were cutting someone off and let a surviving roommate know about it. Two of Pentacles reversed, overcommitment. The Fool reversed. Feeling like someone was stepping over boundaries that had been told to stop. So there is Five of Wands reversed, Seven of Cups reversed. It's not an ex, it's that third person that we talked about yesterday. There was the two surviving roommates and the third girl was the one that was getting information and passing it on. That's who they told the surviving roommates they were going to cut off. Oh, that makes sense. This would be like if they said, "Let's not have her over anymore," or "I'm not going to be hanging out with her as much." It wasn't an ex. It was that friend, that third person in the group. Someone that one of them had been trying to cut off for some time. They were finally doing it. Oh. But it's not a relationship. It's some other type of connection. That's what I just said. I should have just read that. That keeps happening. It's crazy how much of alignment it is. Yeah, it's that third. The third of the two surviving roommates and the third person. Queen of Pentacles reversed. If they cut off access to that third person, it would be cutting off the information that's getting back to the link. The link in reverse. If the Maddie and or Kaylee cut off that third female, and that third female was the one that was getting information and passing it through the link, if they cut her off, it would be essentially cutting off the link's access to information on what the girls were saying. Different parties were cooperating with each other, coming to some kind of agreement. This is confirming that it's not the killer that was around the girls that night. It was an accomplice or informant that was passing along information or helping in some way. So it wasn't Brian that was at the bar. It was someone connected to him in some way. Hangman reverse. Which is interesting because I said it's like the person who was watching the girls that night at the bar was like someone who was standing there and not drinking or like not doing anything, just kind of like weirdly in the corner type of energy. And this would be like standing still. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, it's someone was letting him know when the girls were leaving, but if in my theory, Brian wasn't with his phone, so how would they be letting him know? So it's possible he could have like had a burner or something. Nine of Pentacles. Self-sufficiency. So they were somehow letting him know without him having his main phone. I'm wondering if he had a burner, which would make sense. Two of Spades, Jack of Hearts. Bad boy energy and a fight. Oh, I said I wonder if he had a burner, and this would be representing him, and this would be representing the weapon. Because it's a sharp object, and this is like the bad boy energy. And it came out in reverse, so it's like broken heart or broken down. I think he had a burner phone. Because how else would they... Somebody was letting him know what the girls were doing, but it wasn't not to his main phone. It was a man at the bar that was keeping an eye out. There was also a female that was doing something similar, but she wasn't at the bar that night with Madison and Kaylee. And I believe that that's because she was at Sigma Chi with Ethan and Xana. Queen of Swords and Four of Pentacles, trying to protect something, or in this case, it's trying to get back in the good graces of the higher ups because she messed up somehow. Do we know where Dylan went? Do we know if Dylan went to Sigma Chi? It's not Dylan, but like I'm wondering if Dylan was either with that third person at the time or communicating with that third person, because the Queen of Swords represented Dylan, but it here can also be just representing that third person because that third person is connected to the victims through Dylan. Or like mainly through Dylan. But yeah, this is like... Ethan and Xana were not supposed to go back to the house. There was a female that was doing something similar but wasn't at the bar with Maddie and Kaylee. The fight that was picked and whatever happened to Ethan that night was to get them not to go back to the house. Or at least go back to the house after things had happened. But they left and didn't go straight home. So they weren't at point A and they also weren't at point B. And that's what delayed the start of this happening. They were supposed to be kept at the party, not back at the place. Which would make sense because then Ethan is not in the picture to fight back. I'm wondering if Ethan was given something. I'm wondering if it was either to get him to fall asleep there, not be able to leave, or get really sick and maybe like feel like he has to go to urgent care or something, or like, no, it wasn't that. It was to get them not to leave. They weren't supposed to arrive home until after the roughing up happened. Someone was guarding them from leaving with that fight. Because the fight was picked with words. It was like antagonizing. I don't know if it was directly said, implied, or just a feeling, but for some reason the girls felt like Adam could protect them. If they were going to talk to anyone about the information they had, they felt like Adam could offer them some protection. So this has developed since then, and I believe it wasn't like just talking, it was trying to set up some kind of meeting. So it may not have been that Adam could protect them, it may have been that Adam was who they knew to connect them to the person they were trying to talk to. Oh. Through a possible connection he had, or he was caring. She didn't just spill the beans about this to any person. She told him in particular because there was some benefit of telling him specifically that she felt would help. Yeah, I believe it's because of whoever he could set up some kind of talk with. Eight of Wands, communication. Yeah, it wasn't that he was... it wasn't that they felt that he could protect them. It was that he knew someone or knows someone or has access to someone that they believed would be someone that they could safely give this information to, that would do the right thing with it and not have it come back on them, which didn't work. I thought that Adam talked to 4 people. One of them was the female that couldn't be trusted. And then I said, I'm wondering if he was actually trying to get some kind of help for them, but he told the wrong person, which is what happened. Page of Cups reversed. Three of Cups reversed. Yeah, I said he talked to 4 people. One of them was the female that couldn't be trusted. This one. 4 people total. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 separate because this one couldn't be trusted. This one spilled the beans. And 3 of Cups reversed is like scandalous type of energy. So it's like, it's almost like if he talked to 4 people, 3 of them were like, okay, another day, another drama. And then one of them got that information back to the wrong person. In between Hannah seeing whatever she saw and her death, things slowed down and then picked back up. There had to be something going on close enough to her or somewhere that she would have normally been. Somewhere it wouldn't have been abnormal for her to be. Somewhere she was frequently, because if it became stagnant when she saw something, then picked up the pace after passing, that would imply that it would have to be somewhere that she would have otherwise been able to see it. So Hannah sees something, things slow down, Hannah passes away, things pick back up. So it had to be, the slowdown and pick back up had to have something to do with where Hannah was or what she was able to see. King of Pentacles. Okay, so there's the link, and then there's that male figure that's under the link that I said was like above Brian, but like under the link and was kind of like the middle person between the two in a way. That's who Hannah was close enough to see something about. So that's also the person that wanted Brian out after some kind of mistake. I think I know who that person is. I'm not going to say it, but I think a lot of you know who that person is too. Somebody wanted these targets gone. Somebody else wanted to kill and or needed to kill. The two forces joined together. So somebody wanted these victims gone. Somebody wanted to kill somebody. Somehow those two joined forces, and what happened. So what I'm saying is, I don't believe that the killer is the one that picked the victims. King of Cups reversed. Not that he didn't do his due diligence to get to know the victims before this happened, because the original job description was intimidation, right? And then it escalated to murder. But the King of Cups reverse would be like, there wasn't an emotional connection coming from the killer until the killer was given this victim pool. It seems as though there was already a plan, but it needed to be done now instead of later because of something that happened. The Lovers reverse. Page of Swords. that third female that's in a group with the surviving roommates is the one that suggested that this go beyond roughing up. It's almost like, let me see if I should say that. Hold on. The world reversed. All right, I'm gonna be very careful. Okay, so that the third person, remember I said it's that third person, then Dylan, then Bethany in that branch of the tree. The third person is the one that was getting information and passing it about the girls. Now we found out that that third person was who Maddie and Kaylee had told the surviving roommates they were going to cut off. So we're not letting her close to us anymore. We're not talking to her anymore. Not realizing that that was a big deal because that person needed them to still let them close to the girls so that that person could get information and pass it on. Because if not, she wasn't going to be able to get back in the good graces of the higher ups. I don't know if she would have been responsible if she wasn't able to get the girls to not talk when they left. Like, oh, if they end up leaving and talking, it's on you. So you better make sure that doesn't happen. But it seems like that was kind of like it fell on her shoulders. Like there was some kind of plan, and if this plan doesn't go right and they end up talking, we're coming back to you because you were the one who was supposed to be telling us what was going on and redirecting them to like not want to talk. So anyway, it's almost like that girl, when she heard she was getting cut off by the girls, by Maddie and Kaylee, that girl, the third girl, was given the information that she was going to be pushed away or cut off from Maddie and Kaylee. And then that in combination with Huh. Ten of Swords reversed. Oh, I think I just figured it out. Oh my gosh, it's a domino effect. It's like I just opened a door and like everything just fell out. You know when you like overpack a coat closet and there's like a bunch of stuff, then you open it, it's like whoosh. Okay, let me try and okay. Okay. All right, let me okay. So that third girl, I'm going to call her girl 3. Girl 3, here she's being cut off. It was a setup. Somehow that girl got it over to Adam to get Adam to ask the girls about something and see what their response was. And when their response was to try to set up a meeting, that girl realized that she wasn't getting them not to talk and it was going to come back on her. It's a domino effect. Remember how I said that I was questioning if the girls approached Adam or if it was something that came from Adam, like Adam was told to ask the girls about something to see what their response would be? It came from that third girl, because remember I said she was the emperor yesterday. She was the higher up one, so she has more power and authority or say or whatever in this organization than the other two girls. She somehow got it so Adam would ask the girls something, see their response. Adam, remember, he talked to 4 people. One of them was her because he was reporting back to her because she had asked Adam to ask them something. It's a domino effect. That's why it was able to happen so quickly, because it went from being roughed up to being murdered when that female realized that the girls weren't going to not talk when they left about what they knew, which involved her and Dylan and the link. So we got the devil card, spider web, all connected. And then 10 of Swords we got in reverse, so it's like a form of self-protection via a bunch of stabbings, honestly. Ooh, this is literal in this case. I need to protect myself at your expense. That's why it was able to happen so quickly. And that's the same girl that was at, it'll make sense now. That's the same girl that I believe was at Sigma Chi. That's why she tried to get Ethan and Xana to stay at the party. Oh my gosh. I'm going to try and just finish this one page and then I need a break. That was a lot. Okay. I don't even know where I am. It literally feels like a coat closet that was stuffed to the brim of like books just fell, and my brain just absorbed everything that was in all the books, and now it's just like slightly overwhelming. But I feel like very important puzzle pieces just fell into place. Oh wait, I already read that one. There was some kind of favor owed involving a third party on the drive with Brian and his dad on the way to Pennsylvania. I think we did something very similar to that yesterday as well. The Magician, which would be digital communication, and the Moon Reverse, which would be secrets being revealed. Secrets being revealed would be Brian having to let his dad in on something, because otherwise, I really, really feel like Brian was telling his dad, allegedly my opinion, all this is allegedly my opinion, I feel like he was telling his dad, I'm about to be set up. And this would be the digital. Remember I said it was either phone or email or something. It wasn't face-to-face communication. This is digital communication. And this is like having to let him in on something so that he could understand what was going on. And it's also like one tower here, river in the middle. It's like them, it's representing them crossing the journey. There was a distribution of drugs in or from the house that night. There was, but it wasn't from one of the 2 surviving roommates. There was a male in the house that was doing the distribution that was happening. King of Wands reversed. That's the male. 10 of Pentacles. And death. It's interesting because in my brain I was thinking, I wonder if that third female is the one that sent the male over to the house that night. And then we got the 10 of Pentacles with the King of Wands. So that's like keep it in the family type of energy, especially when it comes to finances, which would be the drug element. And then death is, how I said that the male that was in the house, what did I say? I believe that he left and shortly after Brian came in, which would be interesting because it's like that's the male that's in the house leaving, someone like that was sent there, and then after that is when this happened. So Ethan and Xana are at Sigma Chi. The girls are at the bar. Surviving roommates are in the house. Girl 3 hears about being cut off, gets Adam to ask the girls something. The girls answer with something that she did not want them to say, realizes that this plan needs to happen now or happen worse, whatever. She tries to keep. Someone's trying to get the girls to leave the bar by creeping them out. Oh my gosh, it's a giant web of like, nobody knows why they're doing what they're doing. Someone's trying to get the girls to leave the bar while someone else is trying to get Ethan and Xana to stay at the party. That's the delay. Because the girls, by the time they got home, Ethan and Xana had made their way home. But it was too late because the plan was already in motion. Before this, that girl, as she's trying to keep Ethan and Xana at one place, sends someone over to the house to see what's going on, distributes drugs. That is when Brian comes in. It has to be. Either that or that's the person that left the door unlocked. Before I thought it was that third girl, but if she's the one who sent the guy to the house, then she could have instructed him to leave the door open. Especially if she's still at Sigma Chi when this is happening. Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be Ethan and Xana. It really wasn't. How I said before, I was questioning if maybe Ethan was going to go home and didn't go home. Home as in like to his parents' house, and then he didn't. But some people were saying there was like something going on that weekend, a dance or something. I don't remember. But I'm wondering if maybe what I was actually seeing was someone trying to get him, instead of not go home to his parents, someone was trying to get him to not go back to King Road until this was over by keeping him at Sigma Chi. Okay, Quoted myself. If you're reading ahead in this, you're probably laughing because I'm not, and it keeps aligning really directly. Giving and receiving. Keep it in the family, because if you don't, you're going to see the dark side of wealth. Somebody knew too much, and it could potentially harm the flow of what was happening. Six of Cups, Maddie and Kaylee. Three of Pentacles, the three that were in the driveway. Four of Wands, the home environment. Giving and receiving. The girls giving information, receiving punishment for it. Keep it in the family. This is the group. And then this would be the home environment. Somebody knew too much and it could potentially harm the flow of what was happening. The flow of which was partially coming from inside the King Road residence. So that would be the Four of Wands. Three people are very guilty of this crime: Brian, the link, and the accomplice. The accomplice and the link helped with planning, setup, and aftermath. I'm going to tell you something. I thought this whole time the accomplice we were referring to was the driver, but I'm wondering if the driver is not really the accomplice, but was just the driver, and the accomplice is actually that third female. If not, then there's really two accomplices. I mean, they might play an equal role, but that female plays a bigger role than I thought. thought, let me just look at the next line and see what it is. Do you know what it is? There is also another person that is not as guilty as these people, but played some kind of role. This is the person that was getting the information, betraying the trust of the four and passing it to the link. So yeah, she's more involved than I believed she was at this point. This person is also the person who left the door unlocked. Yeah, so I don't think it was her particularly, but I think it was who she sent there. It's all making sense now. Two of Swords reversed. A decision you can't go back from. Seven of Swords reversed. Caught ya. That's exactly what it is. This card is essentially coming out. I feel like it's from the four saying, yep, that's exactly, that's the setup. Things really fell together here. Huh. It's a little, hold on. I feel like ever since I started pulling from this deck and like letting the four of them say something nice at the end of the readings, they've been giving me a lot more information. So we're going to keep doing that. I just wanted to put them there before I forgot. Okay. There's two more and then I'm going to take a break because this was a lot. I'm going to try to get to the other side as soon as possible. Oh, there's like another 2 pages to this one as well for part 2. So we're going to break this up into little sections for this one. Some people had a role in this and had no idea because they were used for their information. Queen of Cups reversed. That would be about giving too much information. Ace of Clubs. Documents and papers. And working alone. Yeah, it's the one it's almost like that third girl didn't even let the 2 surviving roommates know that she was taking the information. Like they knew what she was involved in, but they didn't know that she was taking information and passing it on. Because she needed them to not be able to use that against her. Oh, because it would all come down on her if the girls talked. Huh. Something was being covered up or hidden from Ethan and Xana that night at Sigma Chi. I'm telling you, they were trying to get them not to leave. I thought it was trying to get them to leave, but they were trying to get them to stay until this was done. But instead of staying because he didn't feel well, he left and they sat, I'm telling you, they sat somewhere and waited. It may not have been outside. I don't know. I don't know where it was. I don't know. Maybe they sat outside in the cold. Sometimes if you like feel really messed up, maybe the cold air can be like, okay, let's just sit outside for a couple minutes. I don't know, but a lot of people were asking about the delay in the comments. The delay, what I mean by the delay is because there was a period of time where whoever was tracking Ethan and Xana, they weren't at point A and they also weren't at point B. So they were no longer at Sigma Chi and they did not go straight home. That is what caused the delay of the onset of this starting. And they weren't supposed to be there. They were not supposed to be there. Queen of Spades. I'm telling you, that third girl is the one who gave the word that this needs to be more than just roughing up. The plan was already in place to rough up. The plan increased when that girl realized she was getting cut off, gave a test, are you going to talk about this or not? And they talked about it, and now they're no longer here. All right, let's wrap this up. I'm going to pull one of these from each. Let's start with Ethan. I was greeted and embraced by family members and friends when I passed. Which I like this because of the steps here, because how I said Ethan's kind of like creeping closer to crossing, like he's getting closer to the door where Xana was. I'm going to try and make a visual of like what I mean by that, so it's a little easier to understand, because I've been working on trying to create a visual in my mind. I think I've kind of figured one out. I've been asking the 4 of them to help me, like how can I get people to understand what I mean by that. So I'm going to try and do that soon. Xana. You see spirit apparitions and shadow figures. That's crazy, because wasn't it Maddie yesterday or Kaylee, one of them, that pointed out like the shadows in my videos? That this is another. I wonder if there's ones at specific times in this video. So yesterday, any orbs would be, I think it was Maddie that said that. Or no, was it Kaylee? Because Maddie said the dream thing. I don't remember. Anyway, the orbs in this video are going to be from Xana, so pay attention to when they come up. Oh, I didn't say a name. Maddie. What? I'm sorry, I should have done more and been there for you. I can tell you that's from Maddie to Kaylee, because she feels like what she said led to this, even though it didn't. I mean, honestly, it did a little bit, but it was already in play, so. Okay, and Kaylee. Oh, because I said that they're moving apart from one another because Maddie had continued to go forward. And now Kaylee's starting to follow, but it's like pulling her that way. Like, it's okay, come, sorry, come on. Like, she's trying to help her heal more. Kaylee. Don't let the past hold you back and block you from future endeavors. Maddie, Kaylee. Maddie to Kaylee, Kaylee to Maddie. Look at the color scheme. Kaylee's moving towards Maddie. She's moving. Maddie's like waiting for her now, and Kaylee's coming towards her now. Okay, talk to you soon.